Yo, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at how you can make some extra crazy 808 patterns. I'm not just talking about regular trap 808 patterns, I'm talking about the crazy ones. So if you're ready for that, let's get right into this. Alright guys, so I got a little sample that we're going to be building off of. Sounds like this. Pretty plain Jane right now. What I'm going to do really quick is go ahead and put just a basic two-step hi-hat pattern on this and a snare just so that we have a little bit of a beat to play the 808s off of. Alright, cool, so we got that laid down, so now we can start working on the 808s. Okay, so for these type of 808s, we're going to be playing fast notes, at least in some areas of the 808 patterns. The notes are going to be relatively fast and close together in range. So, the best 808 that's going to work for these kind of things is the Spins 808. So if you have the Spins 808, go ahead and grab it and slap it in your project, and let's start working on this bad boy. Otherwise, if you don't have the Spins, you can go, I don't know if it's linked in the description below, but go to my website with one of the links, go to the sound packs, and I have some free 808s. It's called like the Fearless 808s or whatever, and there's 3 808s in there. One of them is the Spins, and you can use that one. For today's demonstration, I'm going to be using my take on the Spins, which is in my sample pack. It's called the 6-7 808. It's basically the same thing as a regular Spins, except I kind of squished it together to make it a little shorter, and I boosted it a little bit. So that's the one we're going to be using, but a regular Spins will get the job done just as well. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is make an 808 MIDI, and then I'm going to take the bass here so that I can actually find the right notes to play on my 808. The most important thing is that you're playing the right notes. You're going to want to make sure that your notes are playing at the same time as either the bass is playing and on the same notes that the bass is playing in your sample here, or as the lead instrument is playing. So if you made your instruments yourself, if you made your melodies yourself, this is going to be really easy to do. All you got to do is just take the bottom notes of your main instrument, or if you have a bass going on, like there's a bass in this one, you just copy the same notes that you're using in that. Otherwise, if you're using a sample like I happen to be using in this one, you're going to have to do it a little bit of a different way. And what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to go up 2 octaves from normal. So usually I would start at C3, but I'm going to go up to like C5, and I'm going to play it along with the bass, and I'm going to line up the notes and get them so that they sound right. And the reason that I'm doing them in a higher octave is because you can hear more of the tones in the 808, and it makes it a lot easier to do. So I'm going to do that really quick. I'm going to solo the bass in the 808, and I'm just going to figure out what notes these are all playing on. Okay, you see how those notes sound good as the 808 is playing? If I were to move one of them off, for instance, let's say I put this one up to an F, you're going to notice right away that it doesn't sound good. So let's listen to it right, and then I'll change it really quick, just so you can tell what it's going to sound like if you're trying to get used to doing this process. All right, now let's put it up. You can tell right away that it doesn't go good together, so that's kind of what you're looking for. So now we got these main notes. So let's see if the 808 changes throughout it or if it stays the same throughout. So let's copy this over really quick and just double check. Okay, good. It stayed the same throughout, so it makes it a little bit easier on us. And what I'm going to do for this case is I'm actually going to take these two and bump them up an octave. That way we're not playing such low bass notes in here. And now what I can do is I can take all these notes and drag them down to that C3 range. So now we have them all in the right range to be in. And now we can start making a crazy 808 pattern. So now we can unsolo these. I'm going to go ahead and delete the bass from this section because I actually didn't want it there to begin with. And then we can start going ahead and making this 808 pattern now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is stretch these out really quick, just legato them so we know. And then we can start making these 808s. I'm also going to turn the velocities up all the way so they're just banging. So let's go ahead and start playing with this. think we'll have like some sort of a roll right here before this one comes in, and we might bounce around a little bit here, like something like that. So let's go ahead and make a roll. So when we're doing these crazy rolls and things like that, it can be really helpful to go ahead and turn it into triplet grid here. We're going to be using some triplets for this. Triplets are what make it spank. Absolutely spank. So let's play with that a little bit. Maybe we'll just put 3 in here. Let's see how that sounds. I almost think it could be a little bit faster as well, so let's move these closer together. That sounds good, but we could even move this in somewhere like this as well. So that sounds pretty dope, right? Now we got a crazy 808 roll going on. Maybe we even put something right here. Let's go into the 1/32 here instead of 1/16 and see if we can get something like really crazy fast like this. Cool, so that sounds good. And as you can see, we didn't go quite as crazy with this one. We kind of just did a quick note right here, leading into another note and then another note there, and it kind of just gives it that little jumpy sound right there. And we're going to copy how these notes are kind of set up a little bit over here so that we're keeping some of the vibe consistent throughout. All right, so I think right here before this note comes in, we're going to do like a really crazy roll, like a really fast one. So that's why I put the narrow grid on. And to do that, you're just going to go ahead and right click, select narrow right here. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow it to get smaller and smaller the farther that you zoom in. So you can see that the lines are getting a little bit smaller the farther we zoom in. We'll probably want to zoom in a little bit more, like right there. And this might be too many of them, but we'll go ahead and check that out. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ascend these upward. So I'm going to start really low and just ever so slightly ascend them upward. And so since we're just working on this second half, I'm going to go ahead and slide this over so that we're only listening to the second half now. All right, and I think for this last note right here, we're going to do some more crazy rolls or things like that. So let's play with that a little bit. Okay, I'm going to make this into 2 different notes here. And I think what I'm going to do is lift one of them up an octave. And that's going to be the next part that we're going to work on. The next part that we're doing is now that we got some crazy rolls and we got a good pattern laid down, now we're going to play with some different octaves. So since I split this into 2 different notes, I'm probably going to take this first one and just pitch it up an octave. Let's see how that sounds. Let's try moving this into a different spot since that didn't work out too good. Another thing that we could just try is seeing if it would sound good with that one being up as well. So it's like going between them. This one, up an octave, down an octave, up an octave again. That might sound good too. We'll give it a shot. Okay, so I ended up just taking the middle note and putting that up, and that actually worked out really well. I think that sounds the best out of all the options. So just play around with it and see what sounds best to you. All right, let's go ahead and listen to the first half of this and see if we want to do any other notes, any other octaves. All right, guys, so this pattern's starting to look really good. The last and final thing that we can do to play with this and make it even just a little bit better is play with some of these velocities. So velocities can help, especially with these faster notes, maybe even these ones right here. Just play with the velocities, see if it sounds better to go down. Like we could descend these right here and see how that sounds. That sounds pretty cool. It almost, because it fades out right here pretty low. And what I actually might do is I might turn it up just a little bit more here. There we go, something like that. That sounds pretty dope, I think. We're gonna do something similar with these ones, just have them go down a little bit. And then we'll play with these ones a little bit as well. Alright, what I'm going to do really quick is just close any gaps with these notes. I'm going to go ahead and stretch them all the way out just so that the 808 doesn't get cut off short in any part here. We want the full note to play out as long as it can, just so it doesn't have any abrupt stops or anything like that. And I think we have ourselves a nice little 808 pattern here. And a cool thing that you could do is a little added bonus tip if you wanted to go ahead and switch it up, is you could, you know, make this a different color, copy it over the same exact pattern. And maybe, let's see, let's throw the guitar in here at this point. And what we could do is we could make it, you know, a little bit different here. Maybe we take out some of the crazy rolls. Maybe we add something in here. So let's see. Maybe we throw something in right here. Take out this crazy roll that was right here, maybe just fill in a note. And we'll copy this over to this arrangement as well. Maybe we just take these out and we leave the rest of the crazy ones in there. Or actually, maybe we double up this note right here. That'd probably sound pretty cool. And that's how you can go ahead and change it up, and then you can go in between them for your drop. You can just go in between each one and you're good to go there. And now you have some switch ups for your 808s to just make them super advanced and super crazy, but not too crazy to where an artist couldn't hop on it and get on it and lay down their flow. Alright guys, so that's going to conclude this tutorial on how to make the craziest 808 patterns, and I hope you guys like this one. So really you just want to go ahead and throw those in triplet grids and just play around with different triplet rolls and things like that, and you can get some really, really cool results. You can also do rolls without triplets, but triplets tend to make a whole new little style for you, so definitely play around with those as well as just regular grids. So anyways guys, smash that like button if you like this one, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here, because we're uploading videos all the dang time that you're not going to want to miss out on. And besides that, I'll be catching you guys again in the next one. Peace out, gang.